Welcome to the Sam Bell Show, elevating consciousness one soul at a time. Welcome to the show. Robot TV. What do you think, Robot? I kind of like that name. I had a roommate named Robert, so we figured this would be Robot. I really liked it. He's kind of has personality for a piece of metal. You know, it's kind of interdimensional in a sense. So this show is about not robots and not interdimensionals, but UFOs. And I'll introduce you to a lovely young lady who herself has some connections to UFOs, Miss Rachel. So the story starts, and this is a true story, as I can recall it, best I can. I have a meditation center, Waiheke Island, New Zealand, Auckland Harbour, and a home in Murray's Bay, just over the bridge from Auckland. I'm working with angels big time. I'm also a speech therapist at North Shore Hospital, and have an English girlfriend. So I'm doing all kinds of angel stuff, just angel stuff. It's so exciting. Meditation center, very, very nice. New Zealand, Waiheke Island, very, very nice. So I decide, where can I go on the planet to help humanity the most? So I decide I'm going to do that. This is my goal in life, and I'm focused on this. So I go by a world map, pretty big map. It goes much larger than my desk, and I get up at 3 o'clock in the morning, do my meditation, ask Daisy. Daisy's my guardian angel who helps me. Where's the best place on the planet to enhance consciousness, to help humanity? Bingo, she shows me right there, this spot. It's like right there. It's western Arizona, kind of like northern part of western Arizona. There's nothing there on the map, no roads or anything. I'm like, cool. So go to Auckland, the nice bookstore, get 2 maps of Arizona, come back next night, 3 o'clock in the morning, same thing, right there. Other map, third map, right there, same spot. Northwestern Arizona, there's nothing there. There's nothing, no roads or anything, just out in the middle of nowhere. I'm like, cool, this is it. I'm going to go. So I looked at my friend and said, hey, I'm going to San Francisco. You want to come? She goes, yes. We land in San Francisco. I get a Toyota truck, 4-wheel drive, pack it up, and head out. Well, the closest road we could get to, there was a truck stop, and there was a Subway sandwich place, and there was nothing behind it, just nothing. Just went nothing, way back up in the hills, nothing. So I went into the Subway and said, what's up there? And the nice lady at the Subway sandwich place said, there's nothing up there. Don't go up there. There's nothing up there. You'll die. There's nothing up there. So I went in the Subway by myself. So I got back in the truck, and, my girlfriend at the time, she's, kind of a nice little English lady. She, like sheets and stuff. She's looking nervous. And she can see there's nothing up there. So I tried to break it to her easy. We're gonna go up here. I might have to put it in 4-wheel drive, and so I'm thinking, well, if the truck breaks right in the middle of nowhere, this is not fair to drag this lady out here. Some survival thing. So screw it. We'll go out back on the highway. Go to Sedona. Get some pie or whatever. Go to Sedona. Go into the grocery store. Get a big piece of apple pie. I'm sitting there. Lady walks up, well dressed, intelligent. Rita Livingston. Says, I'm glad you're here. We've been waiting for you. You're supposed to come to this meeting tonight. Hand me some directions. Okay. Later that night, same thing. I look at my girlfriend and say, hey, you want to go to this meeting? She goes, I don't know. It's a timeshare. We don't know what it is. So, okay, we'll go. We got nothing else to do. We show up. We're late. We're lost. We're late. We're about almost an hour late. And I go to the front door, knock on the door. Guy opens the door, and there's all these people in this place, and they're all facing the inside front door, and this guy's speaking, so we're interrupting the whole thing. He goes, go to the back. I go, okay, cool. Go around the back, go in the sliding door through the kitchen. Lady hands me like 6 sheets of paper stapled together. There's no place to fit. The place is jammed. A whole bunch of ladies, average age about 60, and they're wearing about 10-year-old yoga outfits, so they're like all locals. A couple guys, like maybe 4 guys. And maybe 100 total people, mostly ladies. So this gentleman's up there talking. I don't know what he's talking about. I couldn't figure out what he's talking about. I don't know if he's talking about electricity or what. I don't know what he's talking about. So I'm sitting there cross-legged like, oh, now what do we do? We're stuck in this place. I look down at the paper on my lap. The bottom page, there's a topographical map with a bullseye right in the middle of this spot in Arizona. The spot that Daisy showed me in Auckland, New Zealand, at my home in Murray's Bay. So I show it to my girlfriend, and she goes, whoa. And I go, yeah, look at that, whoa. Well, the story is, there's some agreement between some entities and some entities from Orion, and this is the completion of the contract, and we've all been brought here to do this. And so I'm like, this is so far out. So that's what we do. And I got some video of it. So Grand Canyon Caverns, it turns out, there's something kind of there, and it's Grand Canyon Caverns, and it's like the deepest underground cavern in North America. And the Grand Canyon, the river, goes down through that. And so somewhere under the ground where we were is something to do with Orion. So I'm like, whoa. And then recently I learned that Orion and the pyramids are simultaneously similar to these locations in the Grand Canyon that are supposedly, hidden, or, the government won't let you see them. But there's pyramid stuff. Same, the three pyramids and, the Orion stars and Orion's belt. And it's all connected. So very, very exciting. Very exciting. So Miss Rachel, I knew Miss Rachel back when we worked at a hospital together, and she's a hardworking sweetheart. Right now, she's in Alaska and a mommy, and still hardworking in a hospital. And I'm going to have an interview with her, and you're going to enjoy this interview. We're going to cover some different topics, and we're speaking from the heart. Okay? And she's really fine.
There we are. I wasn't sure how this was going to work. I've never done it before.
You're beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
So, not any more beautiful than before, just the same amount of beauty, and I haven't seen you in a long time, so you haven't aged it one bit.
Well, thank you. I'm now 30.
Oh, gee!
I know.
I thought
It's weird to say that.
I thought you were a teenager when I knew you.
I was early 20s.
Wow.
Very early. Like fresh 20.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
10 years.
70.
Well, you rock 70, I must say.
70, baby. I was there. I was a hippie in the 60s. San Francisco. 67, I was in Moscow. Registered for the U.S. draft as a war protest. I went all the way to Russia.
Wow.
From San Jose, California, which was Silicon Valley. So it was kind of like... Anyway,
Yeah.
I don't remember it, but it must have been fun. Anyway, just so you know, this is the Sam Bell Show, and the Sam Bell Show is about elevating consciousness one soul at a time. And there's two topics, and they're basically field reporters who observe something that they feel has enhanced consciousness, and they report what they observed. Could be good, could be painful, could be super, who knows. And then their opinions. So it's like two different things.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're a field reporter. And then the second topic is the most underutilized resource on the planet, women. I mean, if the women thing comes up, the consciousness comes up, and the women have the power, you know what I mean, Jelly Bean?
Yeah.
So, and there's no time constraints. This is the internet. And what happens is you make the report, and then Jarrett and Fernando edit it, and we try to put something together. It might be 2 minutes, it might be 2 hours. And then it's on the internet so that people can benefit from it. And I have a show with a gentleman that had a near-death experience. That's show number 1. It's really good. You'll enjoy that one if you haven't seen it. Have you seen it?
No, I
Good.
just saw the one that you posted. I think it was yesterday about the lady that has Lily, the little pup.
Oh, that.
And
Yeah. That's not a show. That's not a show. That was just something that happens a lot. We just put it on there. Show is like a big production. We put a bunch of stuff on there. But anyway, what was it like? What was your feelings about that?
I kind of got in tune with what she was saying, and I feel like whoever is the main one that was in her house was an old man with Alzheimer's. But she told him to go, and he left. But there are a lot of people that walk through because they're just checking it out.
Your timing's perfect.
I kind of got in tune with what she
Your
was
timing is
feeling.
perfect. Please
Yeah.
keep talking about this. We're off the topic of whatever we're going to talk about, but what you're describing fits in exactly with what's hot right now, because that's Instagram TV. Is the lady?
Yeah. Well, I felt like the one that was she noticed the most was an elderly gentleman with Alzheimer's, and then the one that led Lily to the bathroom is a little old woman.
Cool. They're probably
So
together.
But then there's just a lot of people that come in and out that I can't really put my finger on. But those two seem to spend the most time. But they kind of come in and out.
For the viewers, they're like, what are these people talking about? Where are they coming from? So let me back up a bit. I met Rachel years ago when she was in her early 20s. She's 24 now. You're 24, right? 24.
Yes, I'm 24.
24. And we were working in a hospital in Eureka, California. Lovely Eureka. And she moved to the big city. Where are you now, the big city?
I'm actually in Soldotna, Alaska.
Oh, I knew that. That was my lead-in.
Yeah, I've been here I moved up here shortly after I met you because my grandmother was coming to the end of her life and I wanted to take care of her. So I moved up here.
And thank you for paying. Thank you for paying me back the money, sweetheart.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody ever pays me back except ladies. And so.
Well, I mean, you helped me in a moment, and you gotta. What goes around comes around. I'm about to steal.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So now what year was that?
Oh gosh, 2008, 9?
2008, yeah. Did I ever channel your angel? No.
You had me write on a piece, sign my signature.
Then I did.
Yeah. I don't think you ever did my spirit guide, but I know that it's a man and a woman.
Cool.
They're in their 30s. I don't know their names. I probably do, but don't realize I do.
Hang on, let me go back to putting this in context.
Okay.
So this is Rachel. She was a young child working in the hospital with gloves and hand washing. Are you going to be a nurse? Are you working to be a nurse, or are you a nurse now?
I'm a CNA.
Cool.
It's in my future, but life throws curveballs, and I can't push the universe back. So when it happens, it happens.
Are you talking about ex-boyfriends?
Ex-boyfriends?
Are you talking about ex-boyfriends with curveballs?
Well, just life. I mean, I had a baby, and then just things happening that school would have been too much, and I need to give it my all. So it's life.
You're an honest Alaskan woman, right? You can.
I'd like to think so.
Yeah, you can discharge a sidearm or help somebody with tire chains or
Yep.
get drunk.
Done both. done all three.
Anyway, so Rachel and I worked at a hospital, and she was a CNA, and she was holding her own, and she decided to escape, and she escaped, bless her heart. She was in a situation that wasn't too nice. It was not a good situation, right? The more loving you are, the more difficult your life is going to be. She was the sweetest, cutest little peach on the 3rd floor, and you were married, right?
Yep.
Living with your mother-in-law?
Oh, no, I was living with my mom.
Oh.
We turned the garage into a mother-in-law unit. It was when the economy crashed.
Yeah,
real
yeah.
bad.
Yeah, especially Eureka. Yeah.
And I didn't want her to lose her house. So
Yeah.
we all kind of ganged up as a family and paid the bills.
Did they make it okay?
Yeah, she
Good.
still owns a house now.
Good.
Just, you gotta come together as a family in times like that.
Good. I say prayers for people in Eureka. Anyway, so she bailed and went to Alaska and has a beautiful son who's so smart and skinny. He's skinny, right?
He's tall. He's a string bean. He's
Yeah, I know.
super tall too.
I know,
He's gonna
I know.
be a tall guy.
I know. He's going to beef up here. About 14, you'll be going, you listen to me.
He'll be able to throw me over his shoulder. You're like, no.
Anyway, so the reason that we are connecting here is I had some UFO experiences, and I mentioned that the last one was in Black Rock in Trujillo, Peru, and a gentleman called in the UFO, made sounds that made Orion go from a little golf ball sized light to a softball sized light. It just went on, off. And it was like, no question. And we were doing a meditation on the beach. So I mentioned Orion, and then you emailed me and said that your son is named Orion.
Mm-hmm.
So we started to chat just recently, and I shared with her that Sylvia Brown indicated that she was a Pleiadian from Pleiades, and that her ministers and bishops, and I was a minister in training at the time, are from Pleiades. And I just kind of like, it was so over my head. It's just like, okay, I eat Cheerios. Yeah, I eat Cheerios, you're from Pleiades. Okay, I don't know. And you mentioned that you felt that you were from Pleiades. And my understanding is that our Lord, the gentleman, our Lord Jesus the Christ, was also from Pleiades. So more loving you are, the more difficult your life is. So,
Yeah. I've come to realize that as I'm getting older.
So that's why you have these feelings, these talents, these abilities to perceive these things.
Mm-hmm.
And you're female, which means that it might be a lot more intense than the stuff I'm picking up.
Well, do you remember me talking to you about the number 3? How it just, my life revolves around it. I'm gravitated to it. Number 3, there's all these signs that I just can't help but not ignore.
Now, what do you think the 3 is?
I don't think I can put it into words. It's so strong that it comes in a symbol.
Yeah. I'm listening.
Or a number, I think it's the maybe not creation, but
It's
the
the
it's the core. It's the core.
It's the female aspect of divinity. 3, 6, and 9. Here's 9. This is the female aspect of divinity. And here's 6. Major arcana. So I was just saying you're a female. So it's like...
Yeah.
Now it sounds like, oh, my life is going to be real hell. Oh, thanks, Sam. But I need to emphasize that I can't make a verbal description of the benefits that you'll derive on the other side, other than to compare the birth pain you had of birthing Orion and how much you love him now. That pain was something I cannot imagine. It's past now. Mm-hmm. And your love for Orion, if someone were to say, it's Orion or the birth pain, would you do it again? You wouldn't even contemplate.
Yeah.
If they say that it's a birth pain and your own life, you wouldn't even contemplate. Say, I'll take the birth pain and my life, but just don't touch my baby. So when you get to the other side, I'm just telling you, it's really good. It's so good, it's like, ooh. It has to be that way. It has to be that way. I mean, it is, but I'm just so you know, because you're so loving and the stuff you've been through.
Yeah, this little life that I've lived so far has been very challenging. It's one hurdle after another. I tell
Yeah.
you.
Yep.
So it's this constant jumping midair. There's no landing. So.
It feels that
I'm
way.
hoping it calms down at some point so I can get a second breath for the next jump. But
Well, recognize that those are feelings. Those are accurate feelings. But you didn't sit down and cry and give up.
no.
There are people, there's millions of people in the United States right now that just sat down and cried and gave up and didn't have to do what you did.
Yeah, that's true.
So, now, the two topics, anything you've observed, and an opinion, and the elevating the most underutilized resource on the planet, women. Now, in those two categories, what's your scoop on Orion and Pleiades?
So I'm still learning. I'm just going by what I feel.
Yeah,
And I know.
yeah.
I feel that they've come to me many times in dreams. There's some that I know I can't remember, and they'll come to me here and there, but they've come to me rather recently. It was the dream I mentioned to you in messaging last night.
Mm-hmm.
I was sitting on a roof with friends, and we were looking at the stars, and the Pleiades just came down bright, like zoomed in, and as they got closer, they were red, and everybody was scared because it's like something's coming at us. And I was like, "Oh no, it's just the Seven Sisters. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. They're trying to communicate to us." And as I said that, the sky turned into what I would consider a hologram. I don't know what to compare it to, but a hologram sort of thing that was round, but it was 3D, and there were symbols. It reminded me of like Viking runes or old math symbols. There was sound of vibration that was so, at times, high pitched that the human ear can't hear it, or it was so low that it was just a rumble. And I was trying to get everybody around me to calm down as they were climbing off the roof, and just tell them that they're just trying to communicate. We just don't understand it yet. Where we are in this world of time and consciousness, us human race don't understand it. But don't be scared.
Yeah.
Hey!
I hope people understand that they can contact me. You make your own communication with your own angel. Make your life maybe smoother sometimes. You can do it yourself. You really, really can. It's a true blessing. Go to the website.
Hey!
Contact me. It's easy. You and all your loved ones are always in my prayers.
A comment about that. The United States kind of leads the world. I know it's egotistical. China's got more money and Russia's bigger and is more powerful, but the United States leads a lot of stuff, especially with movies and stuff. California leads the United States. So there's all kinds of extraterrestrials, ultra-terrestrials, discarnate spirit guides. They're trying to infuse, like you're saying, bring in a higher consciousness.
Yeah, I feel like they go into the ocean too. There's a lot of activity in the ocean. But they're in a different, what would be the word, wavelength. So
Dimension.
They can travel from air to water quite easy without it being like a big
Dimension.
physical. Dimension, that's the one I'm looking for.
Yeah.
They can come in and out like it's nothing. I also have a lot of dreams or premonitions of being in what appears to be a big airplane, but really it's a space shuttle, I think. And there's seats that are just in rows. It reminds me of like going to Hawaii where there's huge rows of seats, you know. And,
9.
But there's like 4 or 5. But I mean, in one long row, there's at least 20.
Yeah.
You know, so there's just hundreds of seats for people coming in and out. And I'm always early because I don't want to miss the flight. And I'm waiting. And there's a lot of people slowly getting on. And I could very vividly remember looking behind me and seeing all the empty seats still. And then I've had one also where this one I feel like I will come back again. This isn't my last life on Earth. I will definitely come back when the human race is being definitely tried by storms and just Earth. I mean, it's going to be another, global warming is coming.
Pole shift.
Oh yeah, it's going to be a big, big shift, and the human race will be might be wiped out. And I'm going to try. I come in as in the dream. I'm in like let's see, where am I? It's dark. There's a lot of wind and snow, and in the far distance, I see tornadoes coming off of mountains. I mean, just the weather Mother Nature is mad, and I'm in a jumpsuit of some sort. I remind myself of like a flight nurse because I'm there to help. And I remember thinking exactly, I look over at my friend who actually I know in this life. His name's Derek, and he's actually a flight nurse. So maybe that kind of what triggered my human to understand it compared to not truly being able to, you know. But I looked at Derek and I thought, okay, we're going to get off and we're going to help him. And I got off this helicopter. I don't know what it is. It's a ship of something. And I've got this jumpsuit. It's dark gray. And I get on the ground and I realize, oh shit, in this world I have anxiety too. Like, dang it. God dang, I thought I was going to get away with it. This next world I was going to, this next life is going to be a little easier. But no, I had anxiety and I started to get scared because I realized, oh my gosh, this is scary out here.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing people, there was a woman with 3 children that was trying to get in a car and they were trying to leave town. And we were trying to guide these humans. But that's the weird thing is like, I don't compare myself to a human.
That's what I said. There's them. That's them.
There's them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to help them.
Yeah.
Because they don't understand.
I'm not stroking your ego because that's the way God made you, the way you are right now. You don't get up and say, I'm going to be this way. This is the way you naturally are. So.
Yeah, and in all honesty, I don't talk a lot about it to people because a lot of people don't understand. And it frustrates me because it's like, I don't have time. So when you asked me to do an interview, I was like, okay, I'll do it. There's someone that wants to listen. I'll do it.
Well, no, sweetheart. You know how many people hold thought forms that you and I share, and some of the thought forms that you have that I don't have yet because you're female, you're going to be ahead of the ball game in terms of receptivity. But you know how many people are just like us that are just like you and don't say anything about it, but they can go on the internet and type in angels, Rachel, Alaska, or Mama Bear or whatever, Orion.
Yeah, you're right. There probably are a lot of people.
And then they can listen to you.
Relating.
They can listen to you and send that across. And what happens is 100 years from now, people are going to look at that and go, man, she was sure forward thinking.
You're right.
People would have thought she was nuts.
Yeah.
And now they're like, oh yeah, it's real.
Yeah.
But see, that means everyone's consciousness has to elevate to make it really work. And that just means we have to learn to treat each other with respect because we're all one.
We really are. We don't. When you hurt the person in front of you, you're hurting yourself. and there's a lot that people need to learn here.
Okay, I'm going to shift the topic to the most underutilized resource on the planet. So, in my opinion, that's women. And the elevation of consciousness is going to be dependent on women because men are not going to figure it out. So, do you have any suggestions for women? Well, you're an example. You're in Alaska, you know. You got out of a rough situation. You have a beautiful son who has he had his mouth washed out with soap?
I've actually threatened it.
I know. That's why I asked. I figured.
He's seen the wooden spoon.
You-
But he has not seen yeah, I had to take it that level.
We'll edit this. Oh, you're Alaska. That's right. You have stuff like dirt there and trees.
Yeah, we have dirt, rocks. That's hilarious. Oh my goodness.
So now the Alaska woman provides some lessons that are different than the city. Am I right?
Yeah, I feel like here I can escape. I can go to the ocean and not hear a car. I can go into the woods and truly not hear anything.
Wow.
Being one with the earth and not having any disturbance of
Wow.
others
Wow.
I can definitely get a lot more in tune with
Wow.
what's happening.
Yeah. That's important
I
now
think
while
that's
you're
what we're all lacking.
That's important now while your son's growing up.
Yes.
Because this is a critical time for shaping his male mind. Because that's where the power is, you know. Mothers kind of getting their boys to realize responsibility and that sort of stuff.
Yep. I agree. Yeah. Back to the woman. I feel like it's a domino effect with one mother, woman, sister, aunt can show love that is a ripple effect. But there's definitely some molds that need to be broken. I feel the female aspect is so important because it should, and almost every time, it comes from a very loving place.
Maternal.
Peaceful love, yes. And it should, when you have your children, like you said, it comes down to my son and how he should treat women, how he should, respect women and know that they have such a huge role in the next generation. So it's a continuous thing that should go on and on in time.
It will.
If that makes sense.
No, it will. It will. See, before, no one could sit on the phone and the iPad and record something that somebody could watch 2 million times for free. You had to go to the fence and talk to the dude. Hey, don't be disrespectful to my daughter, right? But now they can watch and people can go, yeah. And then people that see this stuff going up and down the coast and are meditating and having telepathic rapport with entities from Pleiades or Orion or wherever, on purpose to be more peaceful. What will happen is when the pole shifts, when the volcano stuff, when the earthquake stuff happens, people suddenly, they want to find God.
Yeah.
They get religion or whatever, like, now. We just had 8.4 earthquakes. Oh, Jesus, please help me. So all of a sudden people are like, spirituality. Yeah, I've always been spiritual, especially now. So we're at the right time and place. And what we're sending out through the media with ethical use of electricity is not scripted. No actors. No bullshitting. Oop, no bullshitting. Alaskan girls don't bullshit. Oh, maybe they might.
We don't take bullshit. That's one thing we don't do.
Now, is the spoon you use, is the wooden spoon like this, or is it one of those,
It's a wooden spoon. I cook with it.
Oh, good. It's legal.
It's legal.
Okay, well, we're gonna
Right now is
wrap up here. Anything else you want to say about consciousness or females or Orion or Pleiades or anything that you would like to promote? If there's a charity or something that you'd like to mention, you think's important, or just anything at all.
I don't know of any charities. Back real quick with the Pleiades, there's a. I kind of mentioned it in our messaging last night. There's what I can be considering a man that comes, and he's got like few people standing behind him, and there's a woman.
Cool.
They communicate with me a few times. A lot of it I can't really remember offhand. It'll come to me at times, but I'm like, oh, that's right. That's what we talked about. And I'll try to write it down and then I'll forget.
Uh-huh.
So it's kind of, it's locked away.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they've come to me a few times to kind of guide me in situations that told me, don't do this or don't do that, or let me help you. I had a woman with long, blonde, beautiful blonde hair who's always helped me. And I've recognized her many times in dreams and always looked at her and said, I know you. And she just smiles.
Aren't their hair something else? You can't describe their hair.
It's like almost a beautiful silver, but blonde.
Yeah, I know.
And it's bright. It's its own hair.
It's heavenly.
Yeah.
I know. It's like, ooh.
Yeah,
Look at
And
that.
she communicated telepathically.
Yeah.
Like I already knew what she was saying. And she'd just look at me and smile.
The modality for telepathy is unconditional love. The more unconditional love you can resonate amplitude-wise, the more telepathic you are.
Yeah.
So I would assume that would be kind of a high-ranking angel.
I haven't seen her lately. It's been a few years. But just recently, I think they allowed my grandmother to communicate to me. I haven't talked to my grandma in a long time. Right after she passed, I talked to her a little bit. But I haven't spoke to her in a long time, and she actually came to me the other night and held my hand and reassured me that there's a next level. Don't give up.
It's worth it.
It is.
Yeah, it's
she
worth
was in
it,
the driver's seat, and I was in a passenger seat of a vehicle, and
Yeah.
she was just reassuring me that it's, don't
Yeah.
give up. And but it's almost like I know you want to wrap up real quick.
No, that's keep yakking. You got it. You got some words, more words. Come on.
Okay. Sorry, I kind of got.
Get it out, sweetie.
I don't really talk to people.
Get it out. Get it out.
Um.
We got another 7 hours. Don't worry.
Okay. I feel like I came to this earth looking for someone. But I kind of mentioned it too. I feel like right as I was born, they were already halfway through their life. And by the time I could even find them, they might have passed. So I'm just kind of waiting to get off this ride. But I also know that while I'm here, I have to I got to help somehow. So I work as a CNA. I help people in the time of where they're the most vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
I communicate with them, and I heal through voice and touch, just being there and presence.
Mm-hmm.
I mentioned to you, I tend to do pretty well with mentally ill people.
Mm-hmm.
We do a lot of, patients that have psych issues, and they need someone to sit with them to keep them safe or whatever the situation is. And I can bring them to a level of a reality that we both can understand. And they understand a lot more, and they cooperate a lot more.
Yeah.
They want to help themselves more. But at the same time, I'm also here to help animals. I mean, animals are such a forgotten thing on this earth that we don't even people don't pay attention to. So I constantly, foster animals to make sure that they're okay. So while I'm here on this earth, I'm trying to just help as much as I can, and show guidance in ways. And by doing this too, there's going to be people that I probably will never meet, and they'll see this and they'll touch base a little bit. So this is kind of a way for me reaching out too, I suppose.
It's a field report.
Yeah.
It's a field report. And it's from someone who's speaking from the heart. So other people that listen to this, that their heart resonates, are going to go, yeah, that's right, that's true. That's right, that's true. That's right. You know, it's not like an actress who's trying to pretend for something. Except that you're a CNA, which means you work with human beings who are screwed up. You worked in a locked psychiatric, geriatric?
Yeah.
99 bed?
Not 99. Right now, I'm actually working in ICU,
Ooh.
so I'm dealing with very sick patients.
Ay, Chihuahua.
But once in a while, I go to like med surg.
Yeah.
That's where most of the psych patients are.
Yeah.
But I'll go there.
How many times do you wash your hands a day?
Who knows? I carry lotion in my locker because my hands are so dry.
I know. The good lotion, too. Don't compromise.
It's bad, yeah. But, oh gosh, probably 50 times, maybe more.
Well, to wrap up, if you don't mind, what I want to say is that you mentioned a couple times that you feel this, and I'm saying it's just a feeling. It's okay. It's just a feeling. This is driving me. This is a feeling. It's okay. Yeah, I know it's a feeling. It's okay. I'm at the end of my road. Yeah, it's just a feeling. It's okay. Now, those are actual feelings, and I'm saying those are feelings. It's at the bottom level. So when you're working with a person who's severely ill or mentally unstable or going to be passing on, you can't bullshit them. And so when you come in and you have the actual feeling of, I love you, I'm here to help you no matter what it is. Is it poop? Is it constipation? Is it your pillow? Is it the sun? What is it? I'm here to help you no matter what, sweetheart, or whatever. You know, is it you want some pancake syrup on your pancakes, or what is it? I'll get it, whatever it is. And so that's an actual feeling that you have that's the duality of this pain stuff. You know, you're not Nurse Ratched. No, you're not Nurse Ratched. So for extra-dimensional entities that are trying to help mankind, they're going to look for people whose consciousness they can help with. And so you're one of those people. That's why you're the beautiful soul that you are. That's why you're on this program. So if anybody writes and
I hope you got some footage.
If anybody writes in, her name is Rachel. If you want to send a big check, I will forward it directly to her. I want to take a piece of the action. Promise that. Anything else, sweetheart?
No, I think we touched some things. I'm sure eventually I'll be like, oh, I got to tell you this, or, you know.
Well, you're officially a field reporter, so you're not getting paid, and you're responsible for everything you say, but that's cool with me. So all you got to do is just email me, and we'll do this again.
All right.
Okay,
Edit
sweetheart.
the wooden spoon thing.
Or what's going to happen? Just
That's so funny.
Just be safe. You know I love you, okay?
I love you too. It's good to talk to you again.
Okay.
See your face. I haven't seen you in forever.
I'm 70. You're 30?
I'm 30. I know. Before I know it, I'll be 70 though. I'll talk to you later.
Okay, take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Welcome to the Sam Bell Show, elevating consciousness one soul at a time.
Patsy. I just saw you go into Lake Titicaca in a UFO driven by angels.
I am Robot TV. My friends call me RTV. I have been waiting in a time capsule for 2020 AD. I am here to help and guide you in the quantum hologram. Pachi is a blessing from Mother Nature, Pachamama. We all love you, Miss Pachi. Yes, Robot TV. But where is Pachi ultimately from? Peru's most ancient civilizations have always used Lake Titicaca as their splashdown landing zone. It's the highest navigable lake on this entire planet and has on its deepest bottom an ancient submerged Inca landing pad temple. It is the sacred site of the god Viracocha. From this highest lake on our planet and its deepest bottom, the god Viracocha arose, carrying with him sacred earth pilgrims. Viracocha himself brought them up from the bottom of this sacred ancient lake.
Yes, Squirrel. Incas have always accepted that Lake Titicaca is their place of divine source. Squirrel and Robot TV, I believe we just experienced a miracle. Pachi is a miracle and we must protect her. She is our gift from Source. It is our sacred duty to protect her.
Okay, we all now take this consecrated oath to protect Pachi. We will forever treasure her, and we will forever protect her.
Pachi, Pachi.
Welcome back. A very unusual lady. And I kind of envy her spot in Alaska. It's a great place to meditate and go within. Now, going forwards, Machu Picchu. Okay, I'm going to Machu Picchu, and this is the second trip, and we're staying at a 5-star hotel. My wife is born in, her early life was in Cusco, which is Cusco is a higher elevation, so that's the summer palace. Machu Picchu is the winter palace. Machu Picchu is a lower elevation. So my wife's born in Cusco. So we're outside the 5-star hotel. It's before dawn, and it's raining. Sprinkling. And it was raining. And I'm going to take a picture of the doorway where she grew up, of her home. We think it's the doorway. I don't know. So I hold the camera, and she's standing there posing, and I'm looking in the viewfinder, and it says spiritual meetings. I'm like, spiritual meetings? Cool. Spiritual meetings, cool. That's my zone. So I walk in. It's no door. It's a big open archway. I walk in, and a little Peruvian lady looks at me. She scurries around the corner. And then a funny little guy comes out, and he looks at me and goes, "Are you Sam?" I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, "How does he know me?" So then he goes back around the corner. Then another guy comes out, tall guy with a black jacket. He goes, "Are you Sam?" I go, "Yeah." "Yeah, I'm Sam." He goes, "You work with angels?" I go, "Yeah." Uh-huh. He goes, "We were waiting for you." I'm like, "Oh, cool." I'm thinking, am I getting conned? What's going on? I'm like, really? It's like, oh, this is too easy. I don't know. So we go to the patio. He goes, we have to say a prayer. He says a prayer. I believe it was to the solar deity. Okay, there's a little translation system going on here. He said a prayer to the solar deity. And then I said a prayer to the female aspect of divinity. And then I said, look, I got to get on this, nice Mercedes bus and book it. Go to Machu Picchu. I'll be back at like 10 o'clock or something. So I bail. I'm there for a good, 12 minutes or something. Go to Machu Picchu, come back, and the little guy, the first guy, he's like, here's an award. You're channel angels. We talk to some people. You channel their angel. They're like, yeah, you really channel their angel, and we want you to talk at a UFO conference. It was at Brazil, but it's going to be over here in Trujillo later this year. I'm like, cool, yeah, no problem. I'm thinking, hope it doesn't cost any money. So I'm back at my place, Miraflores, Lima, Peru. A month or two later, big storm hits, and this flood just comes down the mountains into the desert cities of Trujillo and just floods the heck out of it. It's just terrible. Amazing. It was People with nothing getting flooded out. It's just ugly. So Guillermo says, hey, you want to go to Trujillo and we'll help them. You bring your angel stuff. We'll help the people. I'm like, okay. So sure enough, my wife Blanca, Jarrett, the cameraman, producer, myself, book it. Fly in a plane, go to Trujillo, get out. Place is a mess. I've never been to a town that's been flooded out. It's not a town, it's a city, second largest city in Peru. I've never been to a place that was flooded. It's just terrible. It's just, the water was gone, but the dirt and dust, it was just everywhere. It's just, piled up. You couldn't find the sidewalk or the streets it was just awful. Well, I was on some TV shows, some radio shows, did some cool healings, did a great event at the Municipalidad. Yeah, I did. I said it correctly. Municipalidad. Some radio shows, met some wonderful, wonderful people. And then Guillermo looks at me and says that we're going to go to Black Rock. I'm like, cool, let's go to Black Rock. Maybe I'll have an alcoholic beverage. It's like once a year. So we pile in this little, 74 Toyota. We all jam in there, drive to the other side of the other side of the other side. And then we go past the fence and go the other side. So when the thing stops at Black Rock, there's nothing there but some terrible sounding speakers blasting at the beach and a bunch of Inca Cola signs. And that's about it. Some bamboo. Cement on the patios. That's it. Plastic white chairs and, no people. Like maybe 3 people in the whole area. Like that's it. And chickens. And sugarcane fields. So he goes, well, this is where we're going to, tonight I'll call in the UFO. And I'm like, huh? I don't know, man. Okay, I'm here. Boy, I blew it on this one. What the hell was I thinking? What a mistake. Okay, 7:30, we're sitting there. In the meantime, I channeled the angel for the owner of the building. It was pretty heavy. And he told us, he asked his mother-in-law to go kill a chicken so she wouldn't kill the chicken. They roasted a chicken for us. It was like a big deal. Nothing to do. No electricity. What are you going to do? So, dark. I want to say 7:30, 8 o'clock, but it was dark. He goes, okay, we're going to go. I'm like, you want to go, Jarrett? Jarrett's like, nah. And I look at Blanca. I didn't even ask Blanca because Blanca's like, she's already scared. So we take off. Well, after the one light bulb's gone behind you for, about a quarter mile, and then you hang a left and go out of the middle of nowhere and then go for about a mile, it's dark and there's nothing. And the waves are in front of you about a quarter mile away, 3 or 4 football fields away. And behind me was just like grass fields that went up into sugarcane, into the hills. So there was nobody at all around, just nobody. And this is a place to meditate. I'm like, okay, this is pretty strange. It's pretty dark. I'm not sure about this Guillermo guy. I really don't know what's going on. And so I'm armed. I got 2 big knives in my pockets. I'm like, yeah. And I have a cane. I can whack somebody, but I don't know what's going on. It's pitch dark. So Guillermo starts making his meditation sounds, whatever that was. And I'm like, blessed be Father God, and, blessed be Mother God, and blessed be our Lord Jesus the Christ, and blessed be the archetypes, and blessed be spirit guides. And I'm doing my meditation petition for healing for the planet and for everyone and myself and protection. And I hear this way off in the distance, quad runner, these 4-wheel things with the little tires going around. And I'm like, what is that? And then I'm like, no, it's not a quad runner. It must be a dirt bike. And I listen, what is it? What is that noise, that sound? It's not going away. I open my eyes and look, and it's Guillermo. Guillermo's making this sound with his mouth. Now, I'm a speech and language pathologist licensed in California more than 40 years. I've never heard sounds like that. I work with people who have their throats cut out, tongues gone, lips gone, gums gone, jawbone gone. Never heard any sounds like that. So I'm like staring in disbelief at this guy on my right, and he looks at me and goes, look at Orion. Well, I don't know Orion from I don't know Orion. I don't know. I can find the Big Dipper and the moon. That's it. So I look up, suddenly I know what Orion is. I look at Orion, and the star, this light, just goes on and just goes a big circle of light. I don't know how big, but I would say it was at least 30 times bigger. I mean, it was like you're not going to miss it. 30 times or more bigger than its little thing that it went back to. So at the time, all I could think was, holy mackerel, how big is that? That's all I could think was, how big did that thing get? How big is that? How big was that? That's all I could think about, how big that thing was. I wasn't frightened. I wasn't spooked. And Guillermo looked at me and said, they said that you are to be called Daliman. 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 I'm like, okay. All right. I'm like, cool. I don't know what this means, but Daliman. Okay, Daliman. I'm thinking, that's pretty cool. They gave me a name, Daliman. Now, what that means, I don't know. It might mean, Earth Pilgrim who's slow. But that's what I have. And that's the name, Daliman. So the really interesting part that's actually more interesting is we finally get back to the light bulb with Blanca and Jarrett sitting under it, like in the plastic chairs with the Inca Cola bottles. And I look at him and I go, we saw a UFO. I look right at my wife. We saw a UFO. I look at Jared. We saw a UFO. And they were like they're looking at a candle flame. No facial expressions, no phonations, no inhale, no exhale, just like you're waiting at the stop sign. And I tried to make conversation about it, and it was complete blank. So that indicated to me, I've had a similar situation, that indicated to me that consciousness is a commodity that can be managed by entities that may be extra-dimensional or extraterrestrial or ultra-terrestrial. Ultra-terrestrial is an extraterrestrial who's on the earth. Our Lord Jesus the Christ was an ultra-terrestrial. He was really here on this earth. If he was off of the earth, he would be an extraterrestrial, off of. But when he came and he was here, he was an ultra-terrestrial. So this consciousness component and Orion and Pleiades all somehow fit together with willpower, ability to focus, and unconditional love. And I'm not talking about everybody that's out there because I'm clueless about the whole thing. I'm just a super beginner. But I do know this. There are off-planet entities, and there are entities that are interdimensional. I do know that. Okay. That was so cool. Now, there's a bunch of stuff I need to share with you. One, Instagram TV. Go there, Sam Bell Show. Very cool stuff. The website, sambellshow.com. Some interesting meditations that are very effective for tension release and cell memory rehabilitation and reducing stress. And we have a very powerful one for workstations. It's a 4.5 minute workstation release meditation. That's all on the website, sambellshow.com. Also, we have readings, of course. I help connect you with your guardian angel to learn lessons with the least amount of pain. That's the goal. That's the intention. And we have events associated with that can be custom. And I say we because Jarrett is our astrologer. And it's kind of a double-barrel approach for learning spiritual lessons with the least amount of pain. And we're all learning lessons, that's for sure. Okay, tune in to the next show. Follow the cartoons. There will be more. Some exciting things are going to be happening with Pachi. Okay, you and all your loved ones are always in my prayers. Bye-bye.